Floyd Mayweather telling Jake Paul that he will only fight Jake Paul if he comes down to his weight, 140 pounds or something. Floyd, I will fight you. And you know that's one of the biggest fights to make in boxing. I'll weigh 175, you weigh 165, we can get that done. Make a couple $100 million. But what will your excuse be? You didn't care what my brother weighed. So why do you care what I weigh? Oh, because you know what's gonna happen. I wanna say, I got your O. I don't wanna just say, I got your hat. I got your O. But you're gonna find a way to dance around this. You know, you said, oh, once he fights a professional fighter, he's gonna get destroyed, it'll be bad for him. Why not let that be you?
Jake Paul isn't the kind of guy to let accusations slide. And Floyd Mayweather's latest jab about his recent fight against Mike Tyson being scripted has Jake seeing red. Instead of brushing it off, Jake fired back hard, taking to social media to lash out at Floyd with his trademark confidence and a sprinkle of trolling for good measure. Jake didn't just deny the claims. He went straight for Floyd's legacy, calling him a hypocrite and questioning his credibility. Jake said, "Floyd's all talk these days. If he's so concerned about real boxing, why not step in the ring and prove it? I'll even make it worth his while. Winner takes all." Yeah, Jake didn't just defend himself, he went straight for the jugular. And here's the kicker. Jake publicly challenged Floyd to settle their beef in the ring. That's right, Jake's not just lashing out online, he's actively teasing a potential fight that could be the biggest crossover event boxing has ever seen. While nothing's official, boxing fans are already buzzing about the possibility of Jake versus Floyd. Could this be the ultimate grudge match we didn't know we needed? One thing's for sure. If this fight happens, it's going to break records and the internet. Let's break it down. So Jake Paul is back in the headlines, and this time he's taking on none other than Floyd Mayweather. Floyd recently claimed that Jake's high-profile bout against Mike Tyson looked scripted, echoing what some boxing fans had already speculated.
Talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted. What? And I believe that Tyson was certainly held back. What? Look, I'm a fighter and I can see it. It goes on the record and it was sanctioned. What? So Jake Paul paid to get the W.
According to Floyd, the match seemed more like a Netflix production than a legitimate boxing fight. Fans agreed, with many suggesting Tyson, at 58 years old, appeared to be pulling his punches against the younger, more agile Jake. And you know Jake wasn't about to let those accusations slide. On his brother Logan Paul's podcast, Jake came out swinging with a bold clapback. He outright denied that anything about the fight was fake, claiming it was as real as it gets. Jake argued, "Mike Tyson was throwing bombs out there. If you think he wasn't trying, you must be out of your mind." He doubled down on his defense, highlighting his own skills as the reason Tyson couldn't land solid shots. Jake said, "It wasn't acting. It was my speed, footwork, and agility that kept me out of harm's way. Period."
But I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
Did you feel Mike's power at all?
No.
He hit you with one, and you gave him the tongue.
Only because the crowd, got turned up, but it didn't actually hurt. But, I mean, no one's punches have, really hurt.
But Floyd didn't just stop at saying the fight looked scripted. According to him, it played out like a choreographed scene, and Tyson's punches lacked the raw power that made him a legend in his prime. He even compared Jake's escape from the fight to dodging a heavyweight's full force in slow motion. Floyd implied that if Tyson had been giving 100%, Jake wouldn't have lasted a single round.
Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Press subscribe for Elite Combat Production. Jake, however, wasn't about to take that lying down. He clapped back with even more heat, claiming Floyd's accusations were born out of jealousy and an outdated view of modern boxing. Jake even went as far as to say, "Floyd's stuck in the past. He doesn't understand that boxing is evolving and people don't need to see blood to be entertained anymore." To add fuel to the fire, Jake also blamed the age gap and Tyson's health issues for why the fight might have seemed underwhelming to some. Tyson, while still a powerhouse, is far removed from his peak and has faced various physical challenges in recent years. Jake claims that it's easy to sit on the sidelines and criticize without acknowledging the toll age and time take on a fighter. Floyd wasn't the only one throwing shade, though. Many fans also called out the fight as being suspiciously soft, pointing out that Tyson's punches seemed to lack his signature ferocity. Jake, ever the marketing genius, turned the narrative on its head. People don't understand what it's like to stand in the ring with a legend. Highlight reels don't tell you how strategic these fights are, Jake explained. He emphasized that while Tyson may not have looked like his old self, every punch he threw was calculated and packed a serious threat. But Jake didn't just stop at defending himself, he went on the offensive. In true Paul fashion, he fired a few shots at Floyd, questioning why he wasn't stepping into the ring to show everyone how it's done. Jake teased, "If Floyd's so sure I can't hang with real fighters, he should put on the gloves and prove it himself. I'm right here, ready to go." This statement sent fans into a frenzy, with many wondering if Jake versus Floyd could actually happen. Behind the scenes, boxing insiders are already buzzing about the potential for this to become the next big fight. Imagine it. Jake Paul, the social media star-turned-boxer, versus Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated legend. It's a fight that could redefine what modern boxing looks like, blending showmanship, controversy, and undeniable skill. And let's be real, whether you love or hate Jake Paul, you would tune in for that fight.
What do you think happens if you fight Floyd Mayweather?
I would knock him out.
Bro,
100%.
don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous.
You think because you lost a fight to Floyd Mayweather that you're better than me at boxing?
Plus, it's no secret that Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather have been at odds for years, and their beef has been anything but subtle. The tension between these two larger-than-life figures reached a boiling point back in 2021 during the lead-up to Floyd's exhibition fight with Jake's older brother, Logan Paul. If you've been following this drama, you know exactly what moment I'm talking about. The hat grab heard around the world. Yep, Jake's infamous decision to snatch Floyd's hat right off his head sparked one of the wildest scenes in boxing pop culture, and it's been all downhill, or uphill, depending on your love for chaos, since then.
Get over here. What's up? You want to run it 2 in 1 night?
Yeah. What's up?
You want to run it 2 in 1 night?
Absolutely.
You want to run it 2 in 1 night?
Absolutely.
So let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own
2 in 1
boss.
night. Got your hat.
Hear me? Respect me.
Fucking arrest everybody here.
Get the fuck off my property.
Hey, chill.
Yes, sir. Got your hat.
Don't you ever disrespect me. Whoever disrespect me. Whoever disrespect me. Chill.
No, let him go.
So when Jake, being Jake, thought it would be hilarious to steal Floyd's hat during a face-off event, spoiler alert, it wasn't hilarious for Floyd. The legendary boxer instantly erupted into a rage that could probably power an entire city. Cameras caught him yelling, "I'll kill you, are you crazy? I'll F you up!" Oh, but he wasn't just throwing words around. Floyd looked like he was ready to hop back into the ring right there. No gloves, no refs, just pure fury. And Jake? He leaned into the chaos like it was his second job. He doubled down, turning the moment into a meme and even selling merchandise with the phrase "gotcha hat" printed on it. For Jake, it was another notch on his belt of viral stunts. For Floyd, it was a direct insult to his pride and a challenge to his reputation.
Jake Paul just called out Floyd Mayweather on something big.
You once worked with Mayweather. Was that awkward when you did the whole gotcha hat thing?
I think he understood it at the end of the day, but like no fighter has ever really made him look dumb. No one's ever really gone there and really hurt his feelings. He was trying to get me killed behind the scenes.
Really? Oh, wait a minute. What do you mean by this?
He was calling,
mafia shit?
Yeah, he was calling gangsters because we were in Miami. He was like calling the street people. My security's like tapped into the street people. They were like, yo, you guys gotta be fucking careful. He's trying to do.
But things took a darker turn when Logan Paul, during an interview with Graham Benzinger, revealed just how serious the aftermath was. According to Logan, Floyd made some chilling claims that he had goons who could kill a man for $200. And if you think Jake brushed that off, think again. Since that moment, he's reportedly hired 24-hour security, ensuring he's never without someone watching his back. Logan even admitted that Jake's paranoia was justified, saying, "What the F do we know about Miami? Floyd knows Miami. He's been around the block."
Crazy shit was when Floyd tried to jump me.
That was at the NBA.
Yeah.
You got caught off guard in that one, right?
Yeah, bro. There was all of a sudden there was 30 people around me.
So how do you...
the car was like right there, and then all of a sudden I'm getting jumped, and I was like, "This, I'm out."
You just dipped, right?
Yeah, and I made the right decision. If I would have stayed there, there would have been a video of me getting my ass beat online. Like they would have just started stomping on me and Don't try to be tough. Like, stay alive and be safe.
And let's not forget why this moment cut so deep for Floyd. We're talking about one of the most decorated fighters in history, a man who thrives on respect. Having a YouTuber turned boxer disrespect him in such a public, almost juvenile way was probably one of the biggest ego hits he's taken outside the ring. It's no wonder he lashed out with such intensity. Since then, the Paul Mayweather feud has simmered but never fully cooled. Jake has continued to throw verbal jabs, calling Floyd out on social media and in interviews, while Floyd, ever the strategist, has kept his responses sharp and deliberate. It's clear that neither of these guys plans to back down anytime soon. Jake thrives on attention and controversy, and Floyd, well, he's built his empire on being the ultimate competitor. This is already setting the stage for Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. Arguably the biggest showdown in the influencer meets legend boxing saga is not just a dream anymore. It's the next logical blockbuster waiting to happen. After the colossal commercial success of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, the demand for this electrifying clash is through the roof, and it's no wonder why. Let's talk numbers. The Paul-Tyson fight broke records like they were twigs. With a jaw-dropping 65 million concurrent viewers, it didn't just become the most-watched boxing event in history, it obliterated the competition. And the $18 million gate revenue? Yeah, that's enough to turn every promoter's head. Fans didn't just watch, they flocked in droves, crashing Netflix servers in the process. Now imagine channeling that same unstoppable hype into a matchup with Floyd Mayweather. For fans, this is the fight of the century. Why? Because both Jake and Floyd have built their careers on being the masters of the narrative. Floyd is the undefeated legend, the self-proclaimed TBE, the best ever, who loves to toy with his opponents in and out of the ring. Jake, on the other hand, is the disruptor, the brash underdog who thrives on proving doubters wrong. Together, they're not just two fighters. They're two marketing juggernauts with enough drama between them to fill a Netflix series. What makes this potential fight so explosive is that it doesn't just bring boxing fans to the table. It draws everyone. Casual viewers, die-hard fight enthusiasts, influencers, and drama seekers alike would be tuning in for a chance to see these two larger-than-life personalities collide. And let's face it, Jake and Floyd know exactly how to push each other's buttons. From Floyd calling Jake a YouTube clown to Jake stealing Floyd's hat during their infamous confrontation in 2021, the seeds of their rivalry have already been planted. Floyd Mayweather isn't just boxing royalty. He's a cultural icon who has mastered the art of staying relevant. Pairing him with Jake, who dominates the social media zeitgeist, is like mixing gasoline with fire. Floyd has always said, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. And with the kind of revenue and engagement Jake brings, this matchup is as lucrative as it gets.
Sir, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him, more power to him.
But get this, Floyd Money Mayweather is not here to play by anyone else's rules, not even Jake Paul's. Sure, Jake might have dazzled with his Netflix fight against Mike Tyson, raking in views like it was Black Friday at Walmart, but Floyd's making it clear, if this fight happens, it's going down his way. And honestly, it's giving boss vibes. In a recent interview with TMZ Sports, Floyd didn't shy away from addressing the elephant in the room, Jake's weight advantage. Jake's been flexing in the cruiserweight to heavyweight zone, tipping the scales near 200 pounds, while Floyd's natural habitat is welterweight, a trim 147 pounds. Translation? Floyd's not about to bulk up to play in Jake's sandbox. Instead, he's laying it out. If we fight, it's gonna be at my weight. Period. No debates, no negotiations. Jake can either make the cut or stay in his lane. Let's be real, this is classic Mayweather. The undefeated legend didn't reach a flawless 50. Zero record by letting others dictate the terms. His career has been a masterclass in strategy, both inside and outside the ring. From picking the perfect opponents to orchestrating drama that sends pay-per-view sales skyrocketing, Floyd's always been the one pulling the strings. And now, he's making it crystal clear to Jake and the world. He's not going to be anyone's puppet in this game. But wait, there's more. Floyd isn't just out here throwing shade. He actually had some backhanded compliments for Jake, saying, for what he's doing, it's good. He's entertaining, selling it, and making good money. Translation: Jake's hustle game is strong, but when it comes to stepping into a ring with a real boxer, Floyd's betting Jake's bubble bursts faster than a popped balloon. This dynamic between Floyd and Jake is what's got fans frothing at the mouth for this matchup. On one hand, you've got Jake, the social media kingpin turned boxer who thrives on chaos and thrives on doubters. On the other, there's Floyd, the GOAT, who's made a career out of silencing critics and showing that discipline and precision will always win over hype. Put these two in the same ring, and it's not just a fight, it's a clash of boxing ideologies. But here's where it gets juicy. Floyd doesn't just want to fight Jake, he wants to humble him. He's already made it clear that Jake stands no chance against someone like Canelo Alvarez, saying, he'd get F up by Canelo. There's no way he'd win, he'd get demolished. So, if Floyd steps in to fight Jake, you know he's doing it with the intent to send a message loud and clear. Stay in your lane. Now let's talk stakes. If Jake agrees to Floyd's terms, the fight immediately shifts from big spectacle to historic showdown. Why? Because it's no longer a battle of size or brute strength. It's a test of skill, endurance, and mental toughness. And let's be honest, Jake's never been in the ring with someone like Floyd. Even with his flashy combos and viral moments, going toe-to-toe with the most technical fighter in history is a whole different ballgame. For Jake, the stakes couldn't be higher. Agreeing to Floyd's terms means he's stepping into unfamiliar territory, literally shedding pounds to make weight and putting himself at a disadvantage he's never faced before. For Floyd, it's a chance to once again prove that he's the ultimate chess master of boxing, even against a fighter from a completely different era of the sport. Now let's talk about Jake Paul and his favorite word in boxing, control. This guy doesn't just step into the ring. He builds the ring, sets the rules, and pretty much picks the playlist for the walkouts. Jake is known for fighting under his own promotion, Most Valuable Promotions, which sounds cool, but it's more like Most Vested in Jake Paul Promotions. Why? Because when Jake's in charge, you already know the house rules favor him. Take a closer look at his fight history, and the pattern becomes obvious. Jake has a knack for stacking the deck in his favor, ensuring he's always got the upper hand. One prime example is his fight against former UFC champ Tyron Woodley. First off, Woodley isn't a boxer, he's an MMA guy. Jake picked him knowing Tyron was stepping into unfamiliar territory, where his best weapons were off the table. Plus, they fought at a catchweight that suited Jake just fine. Not to mention that Jake had home court advantage with his own team running the show. And then there's his recent fight against Mike Perry. Remember how the hype machine went into overdrive for that one? Perry, a BKFC fan favorite and a legit scrapper, was offered a shot at Jake, but under, you guessed it, Jake's terms. Rumor has it Perry was told he had to fight within specific weight limits that were more comfortable for Jake than for Perry, potentially impacting Perry's performance. Jake also wanted to control the glove size and round lengths, which might not seem like a big deal to casual fans, but those details can completely shift the dynamics of a fight. But Jake's most infamous example of bending the rules to his favor might be his fight against Anderson Silva. Sure, it was impressive seeing Jake take on a legend, but Silva was 47 years old at the time and far removed from his prime. To make matters more convenient, Jake made sure the fight happened at a weight Silva wasn't actively competing at, and with promotional terms, Silva had little leverage to negotiate. And let's not forget the Mike Tyson fight. Jake made sure to call the shots on this one too. Shorter rounds, his preferred weight range, and even a fight pace that Tyson couldn't keep up with at age 58. Add in the fact that Tyson barely landed any punches in 2 of the rounds, and it's hard not to feel like Jake wasn't just boxing but choreographing the entire thing. See the trend? Jake's always the puppeteer. He's not just about winning fights, he's about creating fights he knows he can win. By controlling everything from weight limits to fight rules to promotional advantages, he builds an environment where his opponent is climbing uphill from the start. And listen, we get it. Business is business. Jake's all about that pay-per-view money and viral moments, but when he's constantly fighting people on his terms, it leaves a sour taste for boxing pundits and even casual fans who want to see a fair fight. So now, when Floyd Mayweather comes along and flips the script saying, "We fight at my weight or not at all," it's no wonder Jake's sweating a little. This isn't a retired UFC fighter, an MMA brawler, or a senior citizen. This is Floyd Mayweather, a man who doesn't just play the game, he is the game. For Jake, that means stepping into a world where the rules aren't made to favor him. And honestly, it's about time someone leveled the playing field. Jake might be basking in the spotlight right now, but the clock is ticking, and it's ticking loud. Floyd Mayweather isn't the type to sit around twiddling his thumbs while Jake takes his sweet time deciding whether he's in or out. Jake's notorious for dragging out fight negotiations, but this time, the stakes are higher than ever. If Jake thinks Floyd is going to wait patiently, he's got another thing coming because Mayweather has options, big ones.
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punishment.
Let's break it down. Floyd Mayweather has hinted at the possibility of a future fight with Mike Tyson. The boxing world is already buzzing with excitement over the Tyson-Paul bout. But let's be real, Tyson is keeping the door wide open for more fights, including one against Floyd. In fact, Tyson has said he's taking this upcoming fight seriously, treating it as his first professional match in decades. And with his recent training videos, the 58-year-old Iron Mike looks like he's ready to unleash some vintage fury. Tyson's fight with Jake Paul is already historic. The age gap alone made it the widest in boxing history. But here's the kicker. Tyson isn't ruling out future bouts. At the post-fight press conference, when asked about his plans after the Jake Paul fight, Tyson cheekily said, "Hey, this seems like it's going to be pretty fun. Maybe we'll do it again too." He even teased the idea of taking on other opponents, leaving the boxing community buzzing with speculation. Translation? If Jake doesn't act quickly, Floyd could easily shift gears and line up a mega fight with Tyson instead. And Floyd isn't short on other options either. With several exhibition fights under his belt and a flawless record in each of them, Mayweather is still very much in demand. He's shown he's open to stepping back into the ring, whether for a professionally sanctioned bout or another high-profile exhibition. So why would he wait around for Jake to get his act together when the possibility of a fight with Tyson, or even another big name, could bring just as much excitement and money? Now here's where it gets even trickier for Jake. If Floyd moves on to Tyson, Jake loses not just an opponent, but momentum. The boxing world is already skeptical of Jake's ability to handle seasoned fighters on equal footing. Delaying or backing out of a fight with Floyd will only add to the narrative that Jake ducks serious competition unless the rules are skewed in his favor. So, Jake has a decision to make, and he needs to make it now. Is he going to step up and take the fight with Floyd, knowing it won't be on his usual cushy terms? Or is he going to risk losing Floyd altogether and possibly get overshadowed by the buzz around a potential Tyson-Mayweather clash? This is a high-stakes game, and Jake can't afford to play it safe anymore. The world is watching, the opponents are circling, and the opportunities won't wait forever. Jake's built his career on controlling the narrative, but for the first time, he might have to play by someone else's rules. And let's face it, the Jake Paul show isn't nearly as fun when he's not holding all the cards. So, what do you think? Is Jake Paul scripting his fights? Or is Floyd Mayweather just stirring the pot? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because trust me, this boxing drama isn't going anywhere.